Hey everybody, welcome back to 2 Acres Evolving. Today I wanted to do something a little bit different and sit down and do a Q&A video. I went back and looked through all the videos that I've posted so far, and there were quite a few questions on there. I try my best to go in and answer questions in the comment section. However, I thought that it would be a good idea to come on here and answer some of the questions that you all have, just in case anybody else has the same questions. So I'm going to answer some questions from my previous videos, and then at the end of this video I have a question for you all. Alright, so the first question that I have is, can I suggest an external microphone? You have good content, but it's a little hard to hear you. This was at the beginning whenever I first started doing videos, and yes, I definitely had a problem with the audio on my first videos. I did get this cheap mic, and it just plugs into the bottom of my phone. However, I am planning on getting some new equipment. I'm going to be getting a new mic that I don't have to depend on my phone for, and I'm going to be getting a new camera because I've been noticing that on the camera that I've been using, the video has been kind of choppy. So I'm going to invest in some nicer equipment and hopefully have nicer videos in the future. The next question is from a video where I created a new flower bed and I planted heucheras and my David Austin roses. This question says, why did you decide to use landscaping fabric? I have a similar area in my backyard. My husband suggested I use fabric and I don't see the need to. At first, before I started doing all these projects, I thought that I wanted landscaping fabric in all of my flower beds so I wouldn't have to worry about going out and picking weeds. I could just focus on projects. However, I quickly learned that that is not necessary. For one, if you just go out and put like a 2 to 3 inch layer of mulch down, yes, you are going to have some weeds that come through. However, there's not very many at all. I go out maybe once a week, if that, and go through and pull all the few weeds that have sprouted through the mulch. But there's not very many at all. As long as you have a thick layer of mulch down, you shouldn't have to worry too much about weeds. And then another reason why I decided not to use landscaping fabric is basically I'm planting everything new. I'm creating new flower beds and planting new things. So I'm not going to want to have to go in and cut out landscaping fabric every time I want to go in and plant something. Because with me planting a bunch of things, I'm just not interested in cutting out landscaping fabric every single time. The next question that I have is from the video where I planted up the hanging baskets in my backyard. This one says, do you have any problems with the beetles eating any of the leaves? This year I did not have any issues with bugs eating my plants. I do keep a close eye on it, so if I do start seeing bugs eating my plants, I'll definitely take care of the problem real quick. And I'll make sure to do a video on that as well. Another question from that same person on that video, it says, any butterfly bushes? Yes, I planted my first butterfly bush in either the last video or the video before. I can't remember exactly which one it was, but it's my first butterfly bush. I plan on adding more in the future, so I'll be sure to keep you all updated on that. Another question that I have, it says, Corey, where are you buying your plants from? For the most part, I've been buying my plants from either Home Depot, Lowe's, or my local garden center. My favorite place to go shopping right now for plants is Lowe's on the clearance rack. Every time I go to Lowe's, I make sure to stop by the clearance rack first thing to see what they have. And one of the Lowe's stores in my area, I've had really good luck with the clearance rack. So if you have a Lowe's in your area, make sure to stop by the clearance rack and see what they have. The next question is from the video where I mulched up the wooded flower bed in my backyard. This one says, very inviting area, maybe for a hammock. That's very possible. I plan on doing different things in different areas of my property. I don't really want everything to look the same. I want each area to have their own unique look. So I definitely plan on doing seating areas in certain areas, maybe a hammock. I plan on doing a pergola with a seating area, a fire pit, stuff like that. And of course, there will be videos on all of that as well. The next question is on that same video. It says, where did you learn all this? You're very informative on what you do with the flowers. For the most part, I've just been learning as I go. I have done some research online and I use some of that research and use it out in my property. And I've definitely done well on a lot, but I've also lost some as well. So each time I do a project or a video, I learn something new every time. The next question is, what fertilizer do I use in the holes of new plants? And The fertilizer that I use for the most part is Biotone starter fertilizer. That's whenever I go in and plant new plants or transplant something from one area to another. Biotone basically focuses on the roots of the plant and helps boost the roots and help them grow in strong. So anytime you plant something new or transplant something from one area to another, it's a good idea to use Biotone to help the roots grow in strong. There have been some cases where I've been out of Biotone and I've used like Hollytone, which is totally fine. Hollytone actually has Biotone mixed in with it. So if you use the Espoma products and are out of Biotone, it's totally fine to use Hollytone or something like that. It's better to use them than not use anything at all. And if you are interested in the Espoma products like the Biotone, Hollytone, Rosetone, all those, I'll be sure to put a link down in the description below where you can check those out. The next question is from the video where I planted this circle flower bed over on the side of my driveway. I planted it up with Lime-Time Coleus and Limelight hydrangeas. Now that specific area over there has gone absolutely crazy. I showed it in my tour video, but I'll pop up a picture of before and after from whenever I first planted it to what it looks like now, and the Coleus has gone absolutely crazy. I'll definitely be using that Coleus in the future. However, I probably won't be using it in the same way I used it in that circle flower bed because it just completely took over. But the question I have from that video is, do you have timers on all of your watering? If not, do they get water at the same time when you turn your water on? I don't have drip tubing run to every single flower bed in my yard. The only drip tubing that I have that's actually working right now is in my backyard. I have a couple of flower beds hooked up to it, and those are on timers. Those go off at about 5:30 every morning. Now, I did set up drip tubing in that circle flower bed, but it's not hooked up to live water yet. I don't have a drip tubing run out there yet. I'm still waiting on a couple of projects. I'm doing a flower bed from the front of my porch, all that will go all the way out to that flower bed. So once I get that built, then I can run drip tubing through that flower bed and run it out to that circle flower bed out there and hook it up to live water. But once I do have that hooked up out there, I will have it hooked up to a timer so it turns on at the same time every day. The next question, it's not really video specific, but it says, "Hey, where have you been? I miss seeing your videos. What happened?" I commented back on that. She said that she hasn't seen any of my videos for the past month. I have been hearing that other YouTubers have been having issues where their notifications aren't going out when they post videos. So I'm not exactly sure what's going on with that. Hopefully that gets fixed soon. But if you have subscribed to my YouTube channel, there's also next to the subscribe button, there's a bell icon. If you click that bell icon, it'll notify you every time I post a video. The next question is from the time-lapse video where I went over to my parents' house and I helped my mom redo one of her flower beds. This question says, is that a soaker hose that will wet above the entire plastic? So on this question, the first thing that I want to address is the plastic that we used. I did put landscaping fabric down in my mom's flower bed. My mom wants things to be as low maintenance as she can possibly get it. And also, we didn't use mulch, we used rock instead. So rock, what I find is rock doesn't hold back the weeds as much as the mulch does. So we decided to go ahead and put landscaping fabric down and put the rock on top of that to keep the weeds from coming through. And also, we didn't use a soaker hose where the water comes through the entire hose. We used drip tubing. And basically, the difference between that is the soaker hose, the water just soaks through the entire hose. And then the drip tubing, it comes out of emitters every 12 or 18 inches, depending on which one you get. So we decided to use the drip tubing just to help save on water. And yes, that is on top of the landscaping fabric, and the landscaping fabric will draw that water through to the soil below. The next question that I have, it's not video specific. It says, is that your dog? He/she is beautiful. Thank you very much. That is my dog. His name is Gator. I have two other dogs. I don't think you've seen very much of them, Rocky and Bentley. If I can find pictures of them, I'll post those up on the screen so you can see what they look like. But yes, you'll probably be seeing Gator quite a bit in my videos. He definitely likes to hang around and just lay around and watch me do whatever I'm doing. The next question is, I didn't know you had a Facebook. I'll subscribe. Yes, I do have a Facebook. I also have an Instagram and Twitter. I make sure to put links to those down in the description of each of my videos. So if you're interested in checking any of those out, the links will be down below. With my Facebook, I post all of my YouTube videos, and then my Twitter and Instagram. Twitter, I post some videos. And then my Instagram, I don't post any of my YouTube videos. I just post different pictures of different things in my yard. The next question is from the video where I do the paver walkway right off my back patio. This one says, you're doing a great job with your acreage. So good it seems you do this professionally. First of all, thank you very much for that comment. I'm definitely not a professional. I just decided that I wanted to start doing projects in my yard and filming them so I can inspire you guys. I learn something new every single time I do a video, so I feel like as I just keep going, I'm just going to get better and better, hopefully. The next one is from that same video, and it says, where did the big rock pavers come from? Those came from Lowe's. I was up there one day and they didn't have a whole lot. Everything that you saw in the video, that's all they had. And I think they were just wanting to get rid of them, so they gave me a discount on them, so I picked them up. And sometimes that's how the projects that you all see happen as well. I'll just be going through Lowe's or Home Depot or the garden center and see something that I didn't even plan on getting and come up with a project that way. The next question is from the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly Garden Tour videos. This question says, do you use seeds at all? Those plants get expensive in a garden as big as yours. Yes, they get very expensive. I didn't do any seeds this past year, but I do plan on doing seeds next year, probably starting around January or February. So I'll make sure to do videos on those so you all can see the progress of that as well. From the same tour videos, this question says, did you mention where you're located? What zone your home is in? I've mentioned what zone I'm in previous videos. I'm in a zone 7 and I live in Northeast Oklahoma. Each time I go in and plant something new and I show you all what I'm planting, I like to tell you all about the zones and what zone I'm in, and there's different zones that are needed for when you're planting in containers versus in the ground. So if you don't know what zone you're in, I'll be sure to put a link down in the description below to a website where you can just put your zip code in and it'll tell you what zone you're in. So when you're out buying plants, you can see what the zone range is for that specific plant to see if it'll do good in your area or not. The next one says, wow, you have a big yard. A lot of good ideas for the yard. Maybe in bigger spots have a bench to sit on, maybe 2 chairs and a little table for drinks, or a nice latticed arch with flowers, something to break up flowers and plants, and will give you a place to entertain or sit and enjoy the views. I kind of answered that question earlier in this video. I do plan on doing different seating areas, fire pit, a pergola with a seating area, and I do plan on doing different lattice arches, and I have a walk-through arch plan for my vegetable garden area once I get that built, and I'm very excited about that one. And that one actually continues on and says, or build a gazebo in the flat area of the wooded area. I actually had a couple of people mention that I should do a gazebo over there, and once I saw those, I cannot stop thinking about that idea now. I think it would look really awesome in the wooded area next door to have a gazebo with lights all over it that you can just see through the woods. So that is something that you all will definitely be seeing in the future. The next question is from the video where I planted the viburnums. This one says, how do you work in the sun without a hat? In my first couple of videos I had a hat on, but after that I just haven't really put on a hat. I'm not really much of a hat person, so you'll probably see me every once in a while with a hat on, but for the most part I won't be wearing a hat. I probably should out in the full sun, and with my hair being so thin, I'm just asking for a sunburn on the top of my head, but for the most part I just don't wear hats. The next question is from the video where I planted up the window boxes with some fall plants. This one says, do you have to water the window boxes every day? Yes, as of right now I do. I don't have any drip tubing run to that specific area yet, but once I get drip tubing run to that specific area, I'll make sure to run emitters to the window boxes, so they'll be set up on a timer and I won't have to worry about it as much. The next question is from that same video, and it says, wow, those boxes are nice but not very deep. I never would have thought to plant 5 plants in there. Where do the roots go? That is a very good question. I don't plan on leaving those plants in there very long. They're fall plants. The purple fountain grass, it's an annual, so once I get freezing temperatures it'll die and I'll pull those out. And then the mums, those will stay in there all winter long. They'll go dormant and stay in there, and then next spring I'll dig them up and plant them out in the landscape somewhere. Now if I was planning on putting something in there that was permanent, then I would worry about the roots and not plant as many things in there, because then the roots would just take over and fill that box completely up. But with those plants being in there temporarily, they're not going to have enough time to root out completely, so I'm not worried about the roots being in this small window box. So that was all the questions that I had for this video. If you all are curious about something or have questions about anything, make sure to comment down below my videos, and I'll be sure to do Q&A videos every once in a while to answer those questions, and I'll do my best to go in and answer the questions in the comment section as well. Now that I'm done answering all those questions, I do have a question for you all. I'm curious as to what types of things you all would like to see from my channel. If there's something that you all are interested in or want more information about and I haven't covered it, or if I have covered it and you just want more information, be sure to comment down below on this video and I'll gather all those up and do as many videos as I can from your all suggestions. I really appreciate all of you who subscribe to my channel and watch my videos. For those of you that know me personally, you know that this is way outside of my comfort zone. Some of you are probably even surprised that I do videos like this, because normally I'm a quiet person. I like to sit in the back of a crowd. I don't like to bring attention to myself. So starting these videos was definitely a leap for me, and I learn something new every single time I do a video. So I really appreciate you all subscribing to my channel and sticking around and watching all of my videos. And I hope that I'm inspiring some of you all to go out and do projects in your yards. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching this Q&A video, and we'll see you in the next one.